We are live on Yonkers Voice, and today our guest honor, what is it? How do you say it?
Guest of honor.
Guest of honor. My English not to beauty. Anyway, our guest of honor is Tasha Diaz, majority leader, council majority leader here in Yonkers, New York. Today is the day that we ask Tasha, what's up? What has she done? What is she going to do? What's the plan? It's like a report day, a day with the principal, where Tasha can give us an update on her work. Tasha, thank you for taking the time.
Oh, thank you for taking the time to come out and let me express what I've done thus far.
Let's start, Tasha. When you ran, you made some promises, but I think everybody understands that promises cannot always be fulfilled, not because we don't want to, but because there is other members of the puzzle that we have to work with.
That is correct.
But you have accomplished some stuff. Let's talk about the accomplishments first.
Where would you like to start?
You started. You picked the accomplishment that you're more proud of. I know that you're proud of everything that you've done.
Yes.
But there is priorities. There is things that we say, okay, this is most priority, this is less priority. Like anything in life. You know, when I make decisions of life, I make based on priority. What needs to come first?
Well, my first priority is and always has been the community. So all of the things that I've done thus far have been for the community. We just passed the budget. As you can see, I'm education chair for the city of Yonkers. We ensured collectively that Yonkers public school children got everything that they needed, wanted, and deserved. That's one of the accomplishments. We just saw on the news the food crisis. I made sure that the people in the city of Yonkers don't have to go through that. One of the accomplishments that I'm still proud of myself about is becoming majority leader. I'm still in my first tenure. That is something that's usually unheard of. A lot of people may not like it, but I got here because of the work that I've done thus far.
Tasha, let's talk about some people might not like it. Okay, look, before we sat down, I had conversation with some people. Some people are happy with the work you're doing. Some people are not happy with the work you're doing. But everything in life, it's that way. Some people like, some people don't like. Now, they're not liking because it appears that you are holding them accountable. Things that should have been done before, okay, in prior administration, but they were not.
Correct.
Okay, so now you're trying to straight up the boat, because at the end of the day, you and all the others get paid by tax dollars, so they have to be held accountable.
Yes, they do. Everyone should be held accountable. The taxpayers should know what you're doing with their tax dollars. A lot of the things that were said about me when I became the majority leader, I've proven to them thus far that they were wrong. But still, thus far, no one has come to me and apologized to me. Actually, they've been trying to be more vindictive towards me. I'm not a complainer. I'm one to go out and advocate and fight for what I want. I've done that thus far. A lot of people think because I am the majority leader that I'm getting some kind of favoritism. I'm not. I'm only going out and doing and getting what I deserve that the people need. They need someone that's going to be full-time. I was full-time when I was a council person. I'm here in the office at least 5 days a week. You're here now. You see the...
I see you all over the place.
Yeah.
Now, how is the team, the council team, getting along? I hear that some council people are not talking to other council people, that there is some friction. And when there is friction, people of Yonkers suffer.
Yes, but not on my watch.
But
there may be, if friction, this is the first that I hear friction, but you don't see that when I go out and vote. I'm a lifelong Yonkers resident, member. I don't let that stop me for what I'm doing, my job. Some people may hold that personal. I'm here for business. I'm not here to make any friends. I'm a grown woman. My baby is 21. I don't need to make any new friends. I need to make changes.
I hear that, but are you in speaking terms with every single council person?
Of course, when it comes to business, yes, we are.
So,
My personal life and my business life are separated.
and you think that some might not be able to make that distinguish that, look, we might not go out for a beer, but we still have a job to do.
Yes, that is correct. I don't need to go out with you outside of work. I don't need to have you in my personal life because I didn't meet you in that capacity. You met me in the capacity of me being a councilwoman. So that is the capacity we should know each other on. If I choose to let you in my personal space, that is my choice. Just because I don't does not mean that, I don't like you, but that's just my personal. When you become an elected official, your life is not your life anymore. But you can distinguish your personal life and your business. I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a godmother. What I do personally with my children and my husband and my kids, that should be my choice to display that. Just because they feel as if they want to come and they want to talk about their life at home, that's not the way I do things, because that deters you from doing the work that you have to do for the community. And that's when it begins to suffer. When you come in and you talk about yourself and your home life. Your home life may be good, but what about the people that their home life are not good? I was one of those people. I'm not saying I had a bad home life, but it was hard. It was a struggle. My husband is one of those people that grew up in No Down Hill in a struggle. Ada Medina is one of those people that grew up in No Down Hill in a struggle. Those are the people that I want to congregate with, right? Because those are the people that I want to continue to uplift. So that way the community that's out here at large that look like us, they know. We have people that are there that are fighting for us and not fighting for themselves. This is a part-time job. I could have very well said, you know what, I could get something on the side. I chose not to, because then, as you said, when I ran for office, I promised them that yes, it is a part-time job, but I would give it full-time, and I have done that thus far.
But Tasha, for everything there is a root. For every problem, there is a root cause of that problem.
Yes.
Okay. What do you think is the root cause of some friction? But look, we all know that there is friction in the council body.
So the day I got elected to majority leader.
Exactly. So we all know it's not like a secret that the people don't know. I was there the day that you were elected a majority leader. I heard words.
Yes, you did.
Okay, I actually think I have them on record.
Yes, you did.
So there is friction. What is the root cause of that friction?
Me looking at it, a lot of people, when I ran for office, were not supportive of me. After I won, they definitely wasn't supportive of me. They smiled in my face and they said that they were. And, I smiled back, and I didn't want to be that person to bring friction or cause any kind of judgment towards me because they didn't know me. They wanted that to come out, and I didn't want to show that because that is not me. Some people mistake my fight and my passion for something else.
They mistake kindness for weakness sometimes, I guess, people say.
Yeah, and also my passion. When I go in and I'm passionate about something, I'll fight you and argue tooth and nail for that, and that's what I'm supposed to do. I don't know if you heard of this documentary. It's called La Madrina, means the godmother. The woman's name was Lorraine Padilla. A lot of people need to look into that documentary. She's from the South Bronx.
La Madrina, guys, La Madrina.
Her name is, yes, Lorraine Padilla. She fought. People thought she was a loudmouth. People thought a lot of things about her. But like me, everywhere there was an issue, she was there, like me. And people got to respect her. They stopped looking at she's from the South Bronx. They stopped looking at that she had to turn to a different lifestyle. They stopped looking at all of that because she gave back to her community. And that's the precedence I want to set. I want to get people away from saying she's from the South Side. I want to get people away from saying, she's not going to do what she's supposed to do because she got in because of a favor. I want to get that whole narrative out. I've always been a fighter from day one. I mean, one of the people that came and interviewed me from the NAACP was like, I was her teacher in Queen's Daughters. She's still the same person she is when she was a little girl.
Well, Tasha, let me just let the people know that I know you long before you ran for office. And when I first met you was doing food distribution.
Yes.
Going to senior citizens' homes, low-income homes, on your car full of food to bring food to the people.
Yes.
So some people are now saying that, look, we see Tasha in the Chicken Island parking lot donating food. But I didn't vote for her to do that. But people need to understand, I think, that what you carry inside, you cannot take out.
Correct. You will not dim my light. God has given me that light to shine. And I will not let nobody dim that light for me, because what may not be important to someone else may be the person's first or last meal that I've given them. I can show you letters, emails, churches, people, individuals. I can show you Facebook Messenger where they said to me, thank you, where they send me pictures of their meals. Because of me, they've been able to eat. But this is something that was instilled in me through the church from when I was small, Community Baptist Church. And I got an email, and I answered the email, and I called the woman, and she's talking to me, saying, you know, I like what you're doing. I want to get a pantry. I know it's a lot of work. I've tried, and thank you for doing it. Can my church pick up a couple of bags? So I'm saying, sure. Where can we bring them to? And when she said the address, 156 North Broadway, my mouth almost hit the floor. That is my church. That is the church that raised me. And when she found out it was me, she said, this is Mary Blackman's granddaughter. And I said, yes. She said, you are actually doing the work that your grandmother did and your grandmother taught you to do. You're still continuing that work. She was surprised to say, wow, someone that came out of Community Baptist is actually serving the community.
So, you know that we are live. People
Yes.
are watching, people are commenting, and people are saying thank you, Tasha.
You're welcome.
This is from Victoria Peña that says Tasha has been doing good for the community and helping people for years. She's awesome.
Thank you.
Then another one says, Anton Dual, I'm sorry if I'm misspelling your name. He's saying Tasha from Yonkers, and she loves Yonkers, and she do the best for the people of Yonkers. People appreciate what you do, Tasha.
Thank you.
Tasha Diaz, this is come from Lucy Fernandez. Tasha Diaz, you are Yonkers, and thank you for all that you do.
And I want to take a minute to say thank them. I want to thank them for allowing me to be able to do what I do. If they didn't vote me in, I would not be able to do this. I would have continued to do it in the capacity that I was. It was at a small capacity. But because of the voters, I am able to do it on a level where I'm able to express the love throughout the city. There was a couple of people that called Feeding Westchester and wrote some bogus letters about me. We know who you are. You know who you are. But it's sad that you try to take away from the community. If you don't need the food and it's not bothering you, why would you try to slight others? That is so demonic of you to try to do that. And when they made that call, they thought it was going to be a bad thing. But let me tell you something. Thank you. It turned into an awesome thing. And I'm going to tell you why. You made that call to Feeding Westchester. They came down to the site and they actually see what I do, what the mayor does with me, with constituent services, what Nader does for the city of Yonkers. They actually have given us another site on Nepperhead. So thank you. The site on San Andreas that closed down, they let us run that and open that with Jose Alvarado. So thank you. And I mention these people because this is the way government is supposed to work. You have the mayor, which is the executive body. You have myself, which is the legislative body for the city. You have Nader Sage, which is the assemblyman. You have Jose Alvarado, which is the county. You have 4 people in government that are working together to make this happen for the entire city. But
you know, as with everything in life, not everybody likes you, not everybody likes me, you know, right. But that's what we call life.
Yes.
Okay. Now, Natasha Werderburn, something like this, she says, I was told that she's not a very nice person. Mm-hmm. As I listen, I'm hoping she coming with something good. Leaders lead.
Yes.
What is she bringing? Well, Natasha, adults don't formulate an opinion about one person based on what somebody else thinks of that person.
Right.
Okay. But I'm gonna let Tasha explain what she's doing every Monday.
Yes.
For the people of
And now
Yonkers.
every Wednesday.
And now every Wednesday,
yes.
every Monday and every Wednesday. And then you can reach your own conclusions about Tasha's personality.
Yes.
Is she nice to everybody? Maybe not. Am I nice to everybody? Maybe not. Is everyone nice to me? Definitely not. Is everyone nice to you? Or you nice to everybody? No. So, but that's all. Tell them what you do.
Right. Well, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about Tasha Diaz. Tasha Diaz is a person that is strong-minded, strong-willed, and some people are intimidated by that because they're not used to that. So when someone comes up and says she's not nice to people, I'm nice to everyone that approaches me in a nice manner. There's been a lot of things that has happened to me. There's people that said things about me that I know to this day and I have not approached them. Let me give you one instance. My chief of staff, you know my chief of staff, Brenton. When I ran for office, a lot of people told him a lot of things about me as well. He didn't know who I was. A lot of people told him a lot of bad things about me that were not true. We ended up seeing each other, getting together. We sat down. He got to know the person that I was. Now, I never knew that these people were saying these things about me to him. So he said to me, you know, I wasn't going to vote for anybody in that race. But me sitting here and talking to you, now I know who I'm voting for. And I said, oh, wow. Oh, so you weren't going to vote for me? He said, well, let me tell you a little bit of the things that people said about you. And I never approached those people. It was more better for me to prove them wrong. And I've done that thus far. Those same people come to me and tell me how great I'm doing. They send me emails. But those people don't know that I know that you were the ones that were saying things about me. So if I was so much of a bad person, I would have went and approached those people and started conflict. I didn't. I took the higher road.
You stayed focused.
Yes, because I know that's what they wanted me to do.
You stayed focused on what matters. As you know, Tasha, this is an open forum.
Yes.
Okay, not every comment is favorable to you.
Of course.
And I need to read them all because I need to be fair and square. I need to be here sitting down asking questions that the people of Yonkers have.
Of course.
And then you can choose to address the question or not to address the question. This one comes from Caroline Elizabeth Marie. Voting down the affordable housing was unacceptable, especially when she could have made a true change for those in need. The food is not supplied from her. It is from a pantry. That is retail politics. We need affordable housing increasing desperately. Why won't she reintroduce the affordable housing ordinance with at least 5% increase? Something is better than absolutely nothing. Show us, don't tell us.
First and foremost, this Carolyn Marie that you refer to, this woman knows nothing about me. She's another one that knows nothing about me and has constantly attacked me for no apparent reason at all. I had one conversation with her. She asked about Chromebooks. I got the Chromebooks for the school. I never heard from her again. She is someone that is always on social media to attack people, but that's the person that needs to be out there in the forefront. If you can sit on social media and criticize and talk about what I'm not doing, let me ask you, what are you doing?
Actions, not words, Tasha.
Exactly, because you talk about affordable housing, but in me talking to her and listening to the comments that she has left, she doesn't know about affordable housing. She has no clue. She's ranting on about something she is not educated on. And if she would call my office and sit down with me and stop listening to what she hears, I can formally educate her about affordable housing. And the instance about affordable housing, because that's the first thing that she always pulls up. She voted against, she voted against. Who said that I never was going to reintroduce that? If you introduce a law such as that, it has to be correct. The way the first law was introduced, I never got a seat at the table. That is number one. The people that elected me for District 3 elected me to get a seat at the table. When that was put together, I never got a seat at the table. From then, I was attacked. Flip-flops were thrown at me. There was a rally against me. Nobody never asked Tasha Diaz's side of why. Because that affordable housing ordinance that was written was fluff. It was nothing. It would have done nothing. 20% of what? As she just said, something is better than nothing. So if we would have voted 20%, the builders would have left and we would have gotten in nothing. So I'd rather give them something than nothing. You just answered your own question. Thank you very much, Carolyn Marie.
No,
but if you want to get educated when it comes to affordable housing, give me a call. And when you talk about food is not what I was elected for, I never said I got elected for food. But when people do get elected, when you're elected to lead the pack as a leader. I've led since day one. I got elected in 2019. I was doing and implementing things as councilwoman-elect. I was not sworn in yet. It seems as if I'm the one that's at attack because I'm the one doing the most work. What about the ones that don't do anything? I see no attacks on them. I just see attacks on everything I do. It seems as if because of where I come from, Carolyn Marie feels as if I shouldn't be in this capacity. So she keeps attacking me, and that is wrong. That's a form of discrimination. What she's doing, she's discriminated against me. She feels as if because I'm from the south side of Yonkers, that I don't deserve to be where I am now. And that is wrong of her. She came to a function that I held at School 13. Her child wanted to engage in the activities. Her as a mother pulled her child away and told her no. How could you do that? I would never do that. You can't do that to children. How could people nowadays want to instill that kind of like emotions into their children? Everything that we're going through right now, we still have people like that want to be demonic. People like that want to divide the city. People like that sit at home and criticize. I have not seen this woman. I couldn't even tell you what she looks like. She hasn't been out.
Well, Caroline, councilwoman, majority leader, made an open invitation. You want to engage, you want to talk, call her office, speak with the chief of staff.
The attacks need to stop. The attacks need to stop. From a woman to a woman. If you're a grown woman, as I am, with children, stop it. Because everything you're doing and you're attacking, your children see this. Other people's children see this. You're instilling hate within a community that we are trying to bring back together. That is not right. You want to tear me down for a vote that I took that you have no knowledge of. Come down. Sit down. You keep bragging that I live in affordable housing. Yes, I do, but it's two different forms of it's more than two different forms of affordable housing. It's different forms of affordable housing. You have low-income housing, you have affordable housing, and you have privately owned affordable housing. These are things that you are not educated on, Miss Carolyn Marie. And to try to stop the food program, it was you that wrote the letter. That was wrong of you to do that. Why would you do that to the city of Yonkers? Why would you do that to the people that you keep coming on threads and saying that you care so much about? Why are you not out there with me with blood, sweat, and tears when I'm out there 5 hours? I'm unpacking trucks. I'm not sitting there telling people what to do. I'm actually picking up boxes. And when the food distribution is over, just to let you know, my job is not done. I'm delivering to about 9, 10 o'clock at night. But these are things that you don't know and you don't see. But you keep constantly attacking me.
But you know what? I do know and I do see, because I have been at many of places of food distribution, and I do see. I do see Tasha picking up, Brenton assisting, helping the people that needs the most.
And it's become a movement. I got people that used to come for food group that now help me. I got a man that used to come and pick up the wooden pallets to take back to make mattresses and furniture. He started doing that. He is now a volunteer. I have ACDY that came down that are now volunteering. I have police officers that volunteer. I have the fire department that came down and just gave out 250 bottles of hand sanitizer. We are doing the work. Sometimes you have to be out there in the community. But that's why the community loves me. The ones that don't like me are the ones that don't know me. But when I'm out there, the community loves me. You know why? They say to me, I got a council person that I can actually touch. A council person that I can actually see. A council person that I got to say, who's Tasha Diaz? And when they say me, they're like, oh, you're the council person? Because I'm dressed down and I look just like you. Those are the kind of people that they want.
Look, Tasha, I always tell people, be contagious of love.
Yes.
I always tell people, brag about the good things that you do, because by talking, not bragging because you want to be self-recognized of what you're doing, but because bragging and talking about it might motivate others to help and do the same.
Yes.
Now, instead of helping maybe 50 people, maybe we can help 100.
Yes.
And if we get more people involved, we can help even further. So be contagious of love.
Yes. And then let's get to the parks.
Yeah.
Some of the things that I've done. Do you know me, myself alone, I put millions, with an S, millions in parks alone. Just me. Just me. We just did a ribbon cutting for Laura Fink Park. That was a park that I made sure we put monies in to get that park done. Why? I'm education chair. That's right across the street from Cross Hill Academy. These children had nowhere to play. They had a small little playground. I made that happen. Columbus Park, I put $1 million into Columbus Park. I put over $350,000 into Laura Fink, which I fought for the rubber matting. The mayor can tell you, I sat down and I had a meeting with him, and I explained to him, I said, Mayor, wood chips are not sustainable. We may be coming out spending a little bit more money in the long run, but it'll be safer and more sustainable for our children and for the environment. I'm also environmental chair. These are the things that I fight for behind the scene that people like Carolyn Marie don't know. These are the things that I've implemented in the city that are in the works. COVID slowed down a lot of things. I got $1 million for Columbus Park, 2 phases, $500,000 for the first phase and $494,000 for the second phase. I'm doing Serrato Park. That is a park that is not in my district, Rue. I wasn't majority leader when I put in for that park. But you know what? My constituents utilize that park. So I made sure that there was money put into that park. I put money into Lennon Park. I put money into Fulton Park. I put money into Kingsley Park. These are all of the parks that I have put millions of dollars into that the people like her do not know, and they don't care to know because they don't want to know me. What they want to do is they want to start conflict with me. They don't want to know me. They don't want to know the good.
Now let's move into another subject, Tasha. Councilwoman, majority leader. Let's move into businesses that come into Yonkers. When those businesses are coming to Yonkers, there is a big, talk about jobs that are being brought to Yonkers. But when it comes down, there is not many jobs. Let's talk about the new studio that just came down. It's going to get jobs. People are going to have employment. What about the other side of the coin? They buy all that property on Warburton Avenue. Mm-hmm. People are losing their homes. Mm-hmm. Okay, maybe they will give a payoff of a year or two. Most people that live in that block, it's people that been living there for 20 and 30, 40. I actually met somebody yesterday, Willie, who's been living there for 55 years. Okay, because of the rent control, he's paying very low rent of I think $500 or $600. If they give him 2 years of his lease, it's nothing compared to what he's going to pay if he has to move out to another place. Did the city of Yonkers did a study to see the impact of what Lionsgate would be causing to Yonkers and Yonkers residents?
Yeah, I believe so. Lionsgate told the city that they would ensure that people from the city of Yonkers will be getting jobs. A lot of the businesses that are coming in, that is one of the asks that we are asking. Not only the businesses, but the housing that is going on. She talks about affordable housing. We're doing a totally affordable housing project.
No, this is not about her. This, now we move into another subject.
Right, but no, it's the same concept. Basically is, we're doing work, we're doing things, we're making sure that people are included when new things or businesses come into Yonkers. So that was just an example of, we have a totally affordable housing projects that are coming in, and they know that they have to make sure that they get it out to the people of Yonkers so they too can have a stab at it.
But now, let's be real, it doesn't happen. Okay, there is negotiations going on before the deal is concluded, and then there is after the deal is concluded. I'll give you another example. The city jail.
Which one?
The only one. The only one we have, the city jail on Alexander Street. Huge tax exemption, lowered the fee because he promised that we would be, we, the community, would be able to use that spot for community things. Art shows. When was the first community art show allowed in that property?
But you see, that's when the council person of that district is supposed to step
Of course, I'm not blaming you because you were not the council
right.
person.
So that's when those conversations are supposed to happen. That's when that council person of that district is supposed to rally and advocate for the residents of that area to say, look, this is what you promised. Why have you not delivered? And they say that I'm strong-headed, and I do that because things like that do happen, but it doesn't happen on my watch. A lot of the proposals that did come up, we come to conclusions where we bonded together, like the project that's going to happen on Downey. We sat down and we said, okay, you're going to come to Yonkers. What are you going to give Yonkers? He offered to do the park. Same thing with the project before my tenure on Warburton Avenue. Ginsburg promised to do a park if he built there, right? He built there, they got nothing. So what happened? Those residents came to me. I was new. They came to me and they said, we never got our park. Who got the ball rolling? We sat down with the city. I sat down with my predecessor, which was Michael Sabatino, to give me the layout on what was promised and what is due to them. We worked together and they're getting their part, just like that. So you have to advocate. It's about advocacy.
So are there mechanisms in place for things like the city jail not to happen again, Tasha? You know, they get the sweet deal and then they go back on their word, but now the property belongs to them. Is there any mechanisms now that you are the majority leader, to prevent that from happening again?
Well, there's no set mechanisms in place, but we have been being a little bit more diligent, as in looking over a lot of things. I know I have. When there was a thing about the parkland area on Warburton that was in Sinead's district, you know, they came up and they made sure that went back to parkland. It was owned by the state, but they made sure that it went back to the parkland. So there are things that we are being aware of and we are changing. Like I said, with the whole housing thing, we had to let them know, like, look, you have to give them a stab at it. You have to make sure that you put out all of the literature in Yonkers. I know Cortisone wanted to make a registry with affordable housing buildings. So we are trying to put things in place, but things like this just don't happen overnight. I'm coming in as the majority leader, and there's a lot of things that I'm changing in the office that people don't like. But I mean, it's a part of
change. People don't like change.
But you know what? People are put in place not just for power.
That's good. JFK Marina. There is a lot of conversation about JFK Marina, about the property of the power plant that is changing. People are not happy because now they have to pay to go in there. It's sitting in a way that people are not sure of what's going to happen. Do you know anything that is going on there, or what is going to be, or you don't?
No, that's not my district. That's the council person of the district. Out of respect, anybody that comes into a district, if it's your district, they sit with you first. That's the respect mechanism that they have to have. I can't speak for someone else's district as a majority leader. I can oversee it if there's any help that's needed for the district, but I can't go in and overstep the toes of the council person.
But you guys do talk, right?
Oh yes, but they would take the lead on that.
Yeah.
So if there's a project going on, say on Main Street or anything, that would be Sinead to take the lead on it. Out of respect, her being a council person, that's how we do it. I mean, but if there's help that's needed, I always step in. I mean, they don't like it sometimes, but I always step in because I'm Yonkers.
Now, Tasha, social platform, it's becoming a powerful tool on many levels.
Yes.
When elections are being won by social media, meaning advertising, talking, exposing, talking about platforms. But social media is also being used by some in a negative way.
Yes,
Okay?
and that's a problem.
It's a problem. I seen actually this morning, yesterday, last week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, a particular blogger that I don't care to mention the name, but we know who we are talking about. If you want to mention, you mention, then we, but it's on you.
No, we give no one power.
Yes, but what is the problem? What is the problem? Why is this person so strong about making you look bad? Something that was asked from you that you didn't give?
Yes, because when was it? Back at last year's elections, I walked into the Castle Royale and I chose not to speak. And from then on, I've been a target because I chose not to speak.
And you became a target?
I became a target. I chose not to speak. He wrote an open letter about me. They called me everything from Mary J. Blige to
Gucci lady.
to everything. I mean, those are not those kind of people I call non-factors. I'm not even going to mention their name because it does nothing.
Does that bother you though?
No, it doesn't bother me.
Not at all.
I haven't responded. I'm not going to respond. I'm a woman, a wife, a mother. I have to keep myself focused because it's people like that that take the focus off the work that I'm doing, and then the city suffers, and it's not fair. If a person has that much time on their hands, there's something going on upstairs, right? If they could sit there and just attack a person constantly 3, 4, 5 times a day, there's something about me that's intriguing to you. I'm married. I know if my husband ranted on about a woman 5, 6, 7 times a day, every day,
There is a problem.
that is a problem. I mean, I would pull him to the side and say, you know, what's going on here? I thought you were married to me, you know? My husband loves me. I love him. My kids love me, and they love what I do. The community loves me. They love what I do. I'm not here for people to like me. I'm here for change, and that's what I ran on. I ran on change, and a lot of people probably thought that I was going to be bluffing, but I'm not. You can ask anybody about Bilton. I'm still the same person. I still live in the same place. I still treat them the same. I bring food to my own building. It's needed. I got people that during budget, thank you, they went out and they delivered personally the homes for me because I was in budget season. I got a cousin that's out there every day with me delivering food, making sure that she gives back to the community with me. Because that's how we were brought up. People may look at me and say she's from the South Side, but if you look back at my background, you could tell how I was brought up. I was brought up in the church. I've been married. My wedding anniversary is May 29th, coming up this Sunday. I've been with the same guy for 25 years. That's unheard of. A lot of people say, wow, yes, we've been together for 25 years. We've been married for 23 years. All my kids are by the same person. I still live in the same area. These are things that people look to see if I had any strikes against me. And that's sad to say because I came to do a job. My personal life should have had nothing to do with this. And they're trying to find something to tear me down about. And they can't. Everything that I have, I've always had. They can't say she got what she got because she came into city council. You know me. You saw how I dressed. You saw everything that I had. I always had my own car. I always had my own stuff. I paid my way through society. And I don't know why they're coming against me because I didn't become a product of my environment. You would think that they would be happy because I didn't. You know how many little girls and boys come up to me and say, because of you, I can believe.
That's a nice thing. Now, there is some changes going on right here in the City Hall, in your office.
Yes.
Because, I know everything. Okay. Your office, the council people, the assistants, are moving into another room.
Yes.
Tell us about that. Tell us how is that going to benefit. Tell us the why, and tell us about the changes that are happening and the reasons why that is changing here in the City Hall. Your staff and those around your staff.
Yes, it's called taking the leadership. We all know we went through COVID. There were, the space was compromised. There's too many people in one space. We have space. As a leader, you look at that and you say, let's fix it. And that's what I did. I called up the mayor and I said, come upstairs and take a walkthrough with me, mayor. I want you to see what's going on in the office. I want to let you know what changes I want to make for the betterment of the city. He came and he's seen and he was all aboard with me. So now people actually have a space where if you have an intake to do, you have a desk, you have a cubicle. Someone can actually come and do an intake. It's not a desk where everybody's around you, where people hear, where you can't talk. I mean, people are overhearing other people's conversations, and that's where a lot of the cutthroat stuff comes in. People are overhearing, people are listening, people are not focusing. This one's on the phone, this one's, on a computer, this one's listening to music. It's just too much going on. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of moving components in a small space. People were restricted. So I felt like people needed to have their own space. So the new space, everybody has a space where you have your own corner, you have your own cubicle, someone can come in. We're gonna make the front area waiting area. So when people wanna come up and speak to myself or a council member, they can come in here to wait for the council member, and if you wanna do an intake, you can do an intake over there. Not everybody needs to know your business.
Exactly. Now, Tasha, I've been coming here for the last, God knows how long. I'm only 45 years old, so I've been coming here for the last 20, since I'm 20. I always came, knock and open the door. The other day I came, went to open the door.
Nope, not here.
I look at my right side, I saw the little block to swipe the card.
Yes.
Why?
That was always in place, but it wasn't always utilized. That's another thing that I changed.
But how is it going to benefit us now?
Well, it's benefiting in two different ways. It's benefiting because the taxpayers now know when the people that work for them, meaning the legislative aides that work for them, come in and out. We have to have a log of that. If you leave the building, I need to know. If you leave out of the
So no more I'm working from home?
No, that's unacceptable.
Unless it's necessary and everybody knows about it.
If it's, we don't want to start the working from home because that was another thing why I had to implement a dress code. People were getting used to working from home, and when we opened up the office, people still looked as if they were working from home. So we put out a dress code. And the city of Yonkers didn't criticize. We didn't just put out a dress code. What we did was we made sure that people got shirts and attires with their name and who they work for with the city seal on it. So you know, okay, we put out a dress code. You can't say to me, well, I couldn't afford this, I couldn't afford that. The city of Yonkers gave you garments that you can buy. So you can come in and look presentable when people come in. It needs to look like an office.
But that time clock there with the card also keeps people accountable.
Yes, it does. And that's why I made sure that the door stays closed. Not only that, for safety as well. Not only for safety. People should not be able to come in a government building and turn a door and walk in.
Well, we see what's happening.
Correct. And I put that in place once I got in as majority leader. All doors are closed. I was told the door was broken. They came and looked at it. The door was not broken. That was just something that was, But I made that change. I said, no. You swipe, me, myself, I swipe in and out. At the end of the day, if someone's telling me they were here or there, I can just pick up the phone and get a log and say, you swiped in, but you never swiped out. And that's another problem. We don't want people signing in the book. We want you swiping in and out. God forbid if there's a fire in the building and the fire department comes in here, you're still in the computer to be swiped in, but you have left the building. You are putting the fire department in danger.
Because now they're looking for you.
That
you might
correct.
be in a room, maybe you passed out,
Yes,
and
that is
smoke,
correct.
whatever. Well, Councilwoman, Majority Leader, thank you for taking the time. You know that at any time that you need to talk to us, we have a very large follower.
Yes, yes.
Okay?
Thank you.
You can come on, you give me a call, and we can talk about whatever subject you think it's important for the people of Yonkers. Because you work for them,
Yes, I do.
and you have to be accountable to them.
Yes.
Okay? They need to know what's going on, what progress we're doing, what the obstacles are, why we cannot do this. You need to respond to the people.
Yes.
And you always do. You have always made yourself available to us.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
thank you.
Thank
and
you.
I want to let you know that anytime.
Thank you. And I want to say that I made sure that I got the Rat Trap program going on again. It's been a success. So we just added another $100,000 to make sure that that's going to go on. The things that I've started, I don't want them to stop. That was one of the things. MHA also jumped on that. We had the Parks Department that jumped on that. There's a streetscape that I'm trying to get together with South Broadway. So there are a lot of things that I have moving. There's story time that I'm going to be doing at the library. That was something that I came up with. And Shauna from the library loved it. So we're going to be doing story time at the library on Central Avenue. I'm also going to be doing the summer reading program with the children. I sign up every year. And as you know, the council does not work during the summer, but I do. I do not punch a time clock. I am always on the clock. I work 7 days a week. Doesn't matter what time, doesn't matter what day, I am there. And they actually speak to the council person. I've gone to people's homes. I've met people in my office. This is what I do. I make myself readily available because you know why I do that? I was them once. I was a constituent. I was the one that was on the other end that was frustrated when people didn't return my call or people didn't hear my cry. So when people call me, I look at it as that was me. What would I do for myself, or what would I want people to do for me?
Tasha, thank you. Thank you. And so hopefully we can make this happen, very soon again.
Yes.
Thank you guys. Thank you for watching. I appreciate, and don't forget to support Yonkers Voice. And you can do that in many ways. You can send us some stars, or you can ask your family and friends to join Yonkers Voice. Yonkers Voice is fair and square. Are we perfect? Not always, but I try. Okay? And I do not use my platform to slander anyone. I don't use my platform to make anyone look bad. I make my platform available to you, the people of Yonkers, to our elected officials, so they can come and talk to you, and you have an opportunity to ask them a question directly. Slandering, bothering, arresting, it's not part of our agenda. We don't have an agenda. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Until next time.